everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Commodore 64 A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Commodore 64 games. Today's game is Buggy Boy. This was a Commodore 64 port of the 1985 arcade game by Tatsumi, released by Elite. Now, we've previously seen this game on the Atari ST A to Z series, and Elite's various ports of Buggy Boy were all very well received on their original release. I grew up with and still actually quite regularly play the ST version. It's one of my all-time favourite games on the ST. The C64 version was particularly highly rated by Zap64, who awarded it a gold medal and a score of 97%, noting that it was a cracking racing game that proves totally compulsive. The C64 version is still pretty popular to this day too, often held up by enthusiasts as one of the best racing games on the platform, and holding a solid user-voted score of 8.4 on popular community site Lemon64. So, let's go play Buggy Boy.
Okay, here we are with Buggy Boy from Elite for Commodore 64. As I say, we've previously seen this on the Atari ST A to Z series, where it's one of my favourite games. But the C64 version is a lot of fun too. It's got a different feel to the Atari ST version, which is rather pleasing. But yeah, a lot of C64 enthusiasts regard this as one of the best racing games on the platform, and yeah, from my limited experience so far, I would be inclined to agree with that. It feels quite a bit more challenging than the ST version, so I'm not sure if that's just a matter of it feeling a bit different or actually playing slightly differently, but well, you'll see. So Buggy Boy, if you're unfamiliar, is a kind of low-speed racing game that's more about scoring points than it is about setting fast lap times and things. So you drive the little buggy that you can see down at the bottom of the screen and avoid all the obstacles. And along the way, you want to try and pick up the flags, you want to try and go through the gates, and in particular, you want to try and go through the time gates, which will give you a time bonus on the subsequent laps. Oops. And you also want to avoid crashing into things because that wastes quite a lot of time. And so there's 5 different courses to enjoy in this game. We're doing the off-road one at the moment, where you simply complete several laps of the same course. But the other ones are point-to-point races, where you proceed through several different legs, a bit like a rally. So have you notable differences between this version and the ST version? The first of which is you'll notice that your buggy doesn't just sit still at the bottom of the screen. You'll notice moving left and right does not change the perspective of the way. It does slightly, but not very much. Whereas on the ST version, the buggy would stay centered in the screen, and your whole perspective would shift as you move from side to side. Whereas on here, your perspective moves very slightly, but it's more about the actual buggy moving. You'll also notice that you don't actually have to steer around corners in this game, which is nice. And the reason for that is that the focus in this game is very much on avoiding the obstacles and scoring the point items. And I guess they just figured having to worry about steering around corners would make that even more difficult. Because like I say, this is already a pretty challenging game. Oh, I wanted the time. Oh, I still got the time gate. Although the amount of time I wasted probably means it's not worth it. Oh no! The only thing I'm not a super fan of about this version is that very occasionally the collision detection just feels a little bit wonky. It just feels like it's a little bit over enthusiastic about thinking you've crashed into something. But that normally happens at times when you're already taking big risks, so just try and keep yourself out of particularly risky situations and you should be fine. So when the flags are cycling colours like that, all of the flags are basically wild cards. So you can basically pick up any flag and it will add to your flag bonus collection up at the top of the screen. And that's one of the main means through which you score points in Buggy Boy. Aside from these gates. And on your final lap you also get bonus points for any time gates you go through. And then a time bonus, and then there's a flat bonus for each leg you've completed as well. You need 55 seconds to complete the last leg. I don't think we're going to make it. We'll see how we get on. Whoops. Oh dear. So it should be pretty obvious why this is a well-respected member of the C64's library. I mean, it's very smooth. It's actually smoother than the 16-bit versions. Things like the background scrolling and just the overall movement of the track. Is even slicker than the 16-bit versions, which is really nice to see. Oh, didn't quite make it. The finish line isn't far away at all there. We still get some bonuses though. Second place, not bad. Alright, let's have one more go at off-road and then we'll try some of the other courses as well. Off-road is the easiest, so you should try and focus on clearing this before getting too ambitious. But there's nothing stopping you trying the other courses. One amusing thing you might notice, and this is true of both the ST version and the arcade version as well, is that the map up at the top bears absolutely no resemblance whatsoever to what the course is doing. It's simply there as an indication of how far through each leg you are. So if you're hoping to look at it and get an idea of what corners are coming up next, then you are sadly out of luck. Not that it matters too much, like I said, because you don't have to steer around the corners in this. The corners don't really matter. Because all they really are is a means of slightly shaking up the presentation of the oncoming obstacles. There we are, got that time gate for once. Another difference from the ST version is that this version has very occasional opponent buggies in it as well, which the arcade version had, but the ST version didn't. Now they don't pose any threat whatsoever in this, and they don't even really get in the way that much. But it's just nice to have the feeling that you're not alone on this course. Particularly when you see them doing something stupid. Oops. See there, that feels a bit harsh there. Oops, that didn't. I missed a time gate. I lost my nerve. Tonking those footballs down the course, that gives you some extra points as well. Because like I said, this is a game where you play for score rather than for time. Which really sets it apart from a lot of other racing games. Particularly because that score isn't just a measure of how far you went, it's also a measure of how much you engage with the other mechanics, such as the flags and the gates and that sort of thing. There we go, that's better. And as you can hopefully see, learning these courses, particularly where the 3 time gates are on each leg, is absolutely critical to success. Alright, final leg, I believe. Got a lot more time on our side this time. Got some nice bonuses for when we finish. Let's see if I can beat that high score. Oh. Get the ball, get the time gate. Very nice. So nearly there. So nearly there. We've done it, boys and girls. We've done it. I missed one of the time gates, though. That's disappointing. Never mind. I think I might have beaten my high score. I have, by quite a bit as well. Good work, me. Okay, having demonstrated my dominance over the off-road course, let's have a go at North, which I am yet to complete on this version. I don't know this course very well at all, so I suspect I'm going to make lots of mistakes along the way. Well, let's just keep an eye out for time gates and scoring opportunities. Not even sure what I collided with there. Any luck, we'll be able to achieve something wonderful. Got all 3 time gates in this first leg, that's good going. Alright. On to the second stage. Which I vaguely remember having a lot of really awkwardly placed trees on it. Yep. There they are. Ooh. Making me slow down? Unacceptable. No, no. So you can't accelerate in mid-air. Noted. Ooh. Oh, those trees are nasty. Do not like. Missed that one. There was no way I was going to get over there in time. On to leg 3 though. Watch out for our friend there. Oh god. That's a wall. Right in the way. Yeah, we gotta struggle from here on. That doesn't mean we can't still set a good score, though. Oh, out of time. Yeah, if it wasn't already clear, the time gates don't just give you time, they give you additional time when you reach a checkpoint. That is actually my best score on that course, though. Not bad going. Alright, let's try East, which I don't think I've tried at all on this version yet. Again, don't count on that map to give you in any sort of accurate depiction of what you're about to be up against. Well, that's the first time gate missed. The first of many, I'm sure. One thing I do rather like about the controls for this game is that, unlike a lot of racing games of the period, you don't have to keep holding forwards to maintain your speed. There's no speed drop off in this game, so if you let go the accelerator, you'll just stay at that speed, which is nice. That allows you to focus much more on the sort of lateral movement required to avoid the obstacles and collect the flags. Oops. Obviously you still need to accelerate when you hit something. Oh no, not again. Well, that's something we need to learn the positions of for next time, clearly. Yeah, oh god. That was almost good. Change gear. Thank you. There. Oh, another wall in the middle of the road. That's not very nice. That was the wrong way. I feel our journey is about to be over. Yep, there it is. Well, can only go up from there. Alright, onwards to the west. That's a fairly unassuming start. I'm not going to complain. Oh no! Oh, cheeky is what that is. Why would you take out the road and just have grass strips going across the water? Why indeed? Why indeed? Who knows? But yeah, I really like this version of Buggy Boy. I haven't come to a conclusive conclusion as to whether or not I like it more than the ST version yet, but I certainly do like this version a lot. It's very good, it's very playable, it's very smooth. It's got a good level of challenge where it's difficult without being demoralizing. And although it's got some seriously chunky visuals going on, I think this is quite a nice looking game for the platform. I mean, what you tend to want in a racing game more than anything else is slickness and responsiveness, and that is absolutely what you've got here. I don't even really feel like it's at the expense of that much graphical fidelity. Okay, there's not that many colours on screen. And like, there's not a ton of detail in the sprites. But that's fine. I mean, you're going to be whizzing past them at relatively high speeds. I say relatively. There just doesn't need to be an excessive amount of detail. It needs to be clear and easy to understand what you're seeing in front of you, and it certainly delivers on that. Very much so. Oh dear. That's a nasty place to put a tree. Oh dear. Out of time. Not a bad score though. Alright, and to conclude today's journey, let's take a trip to the south. We're at the beach. There we're not, because I can drive on that. Maybe that's shallow water. We'll say it's shallow water. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button there. Let's try that again. I clipped one of the buttons on the C64 joystick, which restarts the game. So let's just try that again. Right, Keep thumb well away from supplementary buttons this time. Nah, it was going so well up until then. Oh, horrid fence placement. Got all 3 time gates, eh? I love that the computer buggies, they just drive straight into walls and into water and so on. They don't even try and avoid things. Might make you feel a bit better about crashing into everything in sight. Oh, rude. That was my mistake. One thing we don't seem to have too much in this version is the sort of changes in background scenery when you go through tunnels, which is understandable given the memory limitations, but it's a bit of a shame. One of the things I like about the ST version is that feeling of really going on a journey on some of these courses. It really drives home the fact that you're doing a point-to-point race rather than laps around a circuit. Oh god. Don't think we're going to make it. We're not going to make it. There we go. Fairly poor score that time around. Even with bonuses. But I will take it. Oh, that's wrong. And there we go. So that is Buggy Boy for Commodore 64. A really good version of a game that I already like very much. Like I say, I haven't made my mind up completely as to whether I like this version more than the Atari ST version. The Atari ST version I certainly have more experience with, and I grew up with that, so there's obviously the nostalgia factor talking there. But the two are quite distinct from one another. They have their own distinct appeal. So sometimes I might be in the mood for one, sometimes I might be in the mood for the other. So it's nice to be able to play both. And that's the nice thing about games on this era. If you play the same game on different systems, you can often have quite a different experience. So it's worth exploring those different ports of the same game, because you may well find out that one of the versions you least expected becomes one of your favourites. So I encourage you to explore libraries other than what is the supposedly best platform around at the time, because you might just be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, let's leave that there for today. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.